Yo, so the Hangar is now one of the best businesses within all of GTA 5 Online. Like, the amount of money you can make from this business is absolutely insane. And in this video, we're going to be going over how to make millions with the Hangar in GTA Online. So starting off, where should you even buy a Hangar in the first place? You can find them on Maze Bank foreclosure, and the absolute best location is going to be over in Fort Zancudo. I'd recommend picking up the cheapest one there since they're all pretty much in the same spot. But now the reason why you're going to actually want to buy a Hangar there instead of in Los Santos is that it's right in the center of where you'll need to go for the source missions. The source missions pretty much send you all over the map, and so having your Hangar in Fort Zancudo makes it so much easier for doing so. Another bonus is that you'll no longer get a wanted level whenever you enter the military base or even fly over it, and in my opinion, that's a pretty cool ass feature right there. Now, as for upgrades, there's only two that I'm going to recommend buying, and the first one is the living quarters. This allows you to set your Hangar as a spawn point, and if you decide to buy one in Fort Zancudo like I recommended, this is really going to come in handy. Otherwise, you're going to have to fly all the way out here every single time, so yeah, I'd highly recommend buying this. And then the other upgrade you should buy is the workshop. This allows you to customize your aircrafts in here, whether it's just changing up their paint job or even adding weapons to them, so yeah, you're definitely going to want to buy this. As for all the other upgrades, they're purely just cosmetic, so unless you're absolutely balling in GTA 5 Online, I wouldn't recommend buying these just yet. But now let's go ahead and explain how the actual business works. In order to get started with it, you're going to want to walk up these stairs and then come into this room right here. Just take a seat in your chair at this desk and log into the computer. Once you're logged into your computer, come on over to the source tab right over here. You're going to see 8 different types of air freight cargo to source from right here, and basically how this works is that you select one of these types of cargo, you go into a source mission and collect that cargo, and then later on, once you have up to 50 crates of air freight cargo, you sell it and get your money. Well, that does sound pretty straightforward. If you want to make the most money possible, you're going to want to only pick from these 3 right up here: narcotics, chemicals, and medical supplies. You're going to want to only fill up on 2 of them, coming out to 25 each. So for example, fill up on 25 crates of narcotics and another 25 crates of chemicals. And make sure you stick around until the end of the video because I'll be going over how much more money you'll make from doing it this way. But anyway, when you click on any of the different types of air freight cargo and go into a source mission for them, it's going to ask you if you want to source the cargo through an air source mission or a land source mission. Guys, the biggest piece of advice I can give you with this business is to never do the air source missions, please. First of all, they're a lot harder to complete as opposed to the land missions. If you're like me and suck absolute ass at using aircrafts in this game, you're gonna hate doing these, trust me, I would know. And then on top of that, they take a lot longer to complete. Most of the land missions can be completed in about 4 to 5 minutes, so trust me, don't even mess with the air source missions. Now, speaking of those land source missions, like I said, they only take about 4 to 5 minutes each for most of them, and they're super easy to complete. That is if you have the right vehicle. My go-to for the source missions is actually the F-160 Raju, I don't know, however the hell you say that. It's a super fast jet, and the VTOL mode makes it really easy for dropping down to pick up crates real quick, but the cherry on top is that you can call it in from your interaction menu and it spawns right outside of your Hangar. Highly recommend picking it up once you have enough money for it. But before I show you guys how to complete each individual source mission, let me let you guys know real quick that the number of crates you have to collect is going to depend on the number of players you have with you in your organization. If you're doing the source mission solo, you're going to have only 1 crate for you to collect, but if you have 2 players, then it's going to be 2 crates, 3 players, it'll be 3 crates, and so on. So while this is definitely doable as a solo player, if you're lucky enough to have some friends to help you out, that'll speed this up big time. But anyway, for the first type of source mission, we've got one where you have to infiltrate a deal going on. When you get to the location it sends you over to, just focus on taking out the big ass red trailer with explosives. If you're using an RPG or even sticky bombs, it'll take about 5 to destroy it. Of course, there's going to be tons of enemies there as well, but yeah, just try to focus on destroying that trailer mainly. Anyway, once it's destroyed, the cargo is going to pop out of it for you to grab, and then you just have to take it back to your Hangar. For the second type of source mission, this one says it's going to send you over to Sandy Shores Airfield, but once you get close to it, you end up having to go to another location. Once you get there, I'd take out the helicopter first if you're in a flying vehicle with missiles, and then you just need to look for the crate from up above. It should be pretty easy to notice since it'll be glowing, so yeah, just drop down and pick it up, and then just start heading back to your Hangar. You're gonna get the cops on you, but by the time you fly back to your Hangar, you should have already lost them. For the third one, it's gonna send you to a location where you have to look around for a generator. They're almost always in the same spot, so the more you do them, you'll eventually memorize where they are. But yeah, just go ahead and shoot the generator and it'll open up the garage. You just want to run inside the garage and grab the crate sitting there, and then just take it back to your Hangar, and that's it for this one. For the fourth and final type of source mission, this one's gonna send you out to this barge out in the water. Just try taking out all of the enemies from up above if you have a vehicle with missiles on it, and then go ahead and board it. Once you do, you need to look around for a switch, and it's gonna be somewhere around the outside of this little room right here. Just press right on your D-pad and it's gonna go ahead and drop the crate that you need. Then you need to come get inside of this submarine right here and go down into the ocean to pick up the crate. It'll connect to the front of the submarine thanks to its magnet, so just go head first into it. Then after this, just go over to the yellow dot on your map and it'll transport the air freight cargo into this truck. You're gonna want to hop out of it though and just destroy it. Just like earlier, this truck is gonna take about 5 rockets or sticky bombs to destroy, but once it is destroyed, just grab the crate and head back to your Hangar. Now, once you're maxed out with 50 crates of air freight cargo in your Hangar, it's time to sell. The way that the payout works is that for every crate that you get, it's gonna be worth $30,000, and that goes for all 8 of the different types of air freight cargo here. So if you maxed out your Hangar with just any 50 crates, that would be $1.5 million, which isn't bad, but if you want to make even more money, you're gonna want to do it this way. Remember earlier how I said to only stock up on these 3 right here? Well, if you want to make even more money, you should get 25 crates of one of them and then another 25 of another. So for example, right here I have have 25 crates of narcotics, and then I have another 25 of chemicals. When you have 25 crates for any of these three, you're gonna get a 35% bonus, as it says right there. So with that bonus, each one is worth a little over $1 million, coming out to a combined total of $2,025,000 for both. And you wanna make sure you sell each one individually, not together, because if not, you will not get that 35% bonus for each one, meaning you'll lose out on hella money. But now, if you wanna make even more money on top of those bonuses, I'ma highly recommend selling in a full public lobby. That's where the real money's at. Because when you do sell in a full public lobby, you're gonna get the high demand bonus. So if you sell those two types of air freight cargo individually in a full public lobby, you're gonna make $1,480,737 each. And that times 2 comes out to $2,961,474, which is almost $3 million. That's some really good money right there, you guys. Even if you don't feel comfortable selling in an invite-only lobby. Which, by the way, I totally understand if you don't, because today the griefers are straight up dicks. Like, holy shit. Now guys, when it comes to the actual sell missions themselves, they're pretty straightforward. You just want to make sure that you do a land mission, not an air mission. Trust me, never pick the air missions. They suck major ass. Now, if you end up deciding to sell in a public lobby like I recommended, it's a major risk because there's a chance that you'll be griefed by someone. What I'm going to recommend doing is right before you go into a sell mission, check out the map of the lobby you're in. If you see a bunch of people in Oppressor Mark 2s or jets, or the lobby just seems really hectic, I load into another public lobby. This is what I do for pretty much any other business's sell missions, to be honest. And let's say you're in the middle of a sell mission and you feel that people are coming for you. You could always throw on Ghost Organization. This is going to hide you from the map for 3 minutes, and it only costs $12,000, so definitely worth it in my opinion. In order to throw it on, you're going to want to open up your interaction menu, go over to Secure Serve, CEO abilities, and you'll see it right there. But overall, I'd say that the massive payout is definitely worth the risk. Now let's go over some additional tips that you guys might want to know about. First of all, inside of your hangar's office, you can come over to the snack bowl right over here and fill up on snacks. Definitely going to come in handy when you come back from those source missions, trust me. Another thing is that if you come over to this blue flyer on the wall right here, you can actually fast travel over to flight school. And no, it doesn't put you straight into the actual job, it just teleports you over to that spot on your map. So for all you guys who also own a hangar in Fort Zancudo and don't feel like flying all the way over to the city, this feature really comes in handy. And then one thing that I actually left out on purpose was Rooster. And no, I'm not talking about that kind of Rooster. If you come over to this dude right here in your hangar, this is Rooster, and for $25,000, he's gonna go out and source some cargo for you. Most of the time, he's only gonna collect 1 crate for you, but sometimes it can actually be 2. And once you pay the man, it's gonna take him 1 in-game day or 48 minutes to bring that cargo back. Now, while this does sound like a really convenient feature, the reason why I left it out was because he's gonna bring back a random type of air freight cargo, and if you've been paying attention to the video, you'd know that you want to focus on only 2 specific types of air freight cargo. So yeah, for that reason alone, I'd say to skip out on this feature entirely, unless you genuinely don't care about the bonuses, then go right ahead. Doing it this way, the hangar can technically be considered a passive business. But yeah, me personally, I don't really mess with Rooster. I mean, if you were able to pick the type of air freight cargo that he'd get, then maybe, but as of right now, I'm a pass on that. Now, while the hangar is a great way to make some money, you're gonna want a passive business to make you even more money in the background. The nightclub is easily the best way to make passive income within all of GTA 5 Online. With its wall safe, you can make up to $50,000 every 48 minutes. If that sounds interesting, you'll definitely want to click on the video on screen right now.